Goggles off. This week we are talking about something really exciting and topical. Julian, did you know that there's a new James Bond movie out?
Yeah, I saw it last week.
Yeah, so did I. I think we were even in the same theater. Yeah. It was a good movie, wasn't it?
Well, strange that we're talking about James Bond at the same time James Bond is out.
Wow, it's not a coincidence at all, is it?
The N64 classic, Goldeneye. The third best-selling game ever for the N64. And one of the archetypical titles for the console.
What were the two top-selling ones?
It was Mario 64, something else. And
it was probably Zelda, let's be honest here.
Yeah, it was probably Zelda. Zelda actually might have been first.
Wow.
But it was two Nintendo properties, and GoldenEye was third.
Exactly.
But, yeah, it is one of the classic titles for the system, to the point where anyone brings up the N64, anyone asks, oh, I just got N64, what games do I get? GoldenEye is always mentioned.
Yep.
Always. It is that well known.
But here, on this review, we'll determine if that is really, really true. Because, I don't know, millions of people, they can still be wrong, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, to be honest, it is fair that that we go over a classic like this, or, you know, something that's perceived as a classic, and try to analyze it, you know, kind of on a more critical level. Because really, if we were going by popularity as a quality metric, you know,
Flappy
Bieber,
Bird.
well, yeah, Flappy Bird and Justin Bieber would be the greatest pieces of entertainment.
No.
But yeah, I just want to see everybody because I love you guys. But
So, why don't I start by talking about my own personal experiences with this game growing up. As I've said previously, I did not have any video game consoles in my home growing up. My neighbor, however, had an N64, and this was one of our favorite games to play. I don't remember being very good at it. You, however, you were very good at it, right? When did you get this?
I got this, I played it over a friend's house right when it came out, because it was the game at the time.
Right, and that, you recently told me, was in '97, 2 years after the movie it's based on came out.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, the game's release was '97. Movie was in '95.
Wow.
Everybody thought it would flop, but it became one of the greatest selling games in the system.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nintendo actually tried to cancel it.
They did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They didn't really like the fact that Rare was taking so long on the game. I think Rare actually had to pay for the remaining development out of their own pocket.
Well,
I
that was
believe,
a good investment.
I believe. I heard something like that similar, but I think I'm like 99% correct on that. But such a lowly game did become one of the greatest sellers of the system.
Considering Nintendo's apprehension towards any kind of violence on their consoles, it doesn't really surprise me that they'd be pissed off at that, the development time, a whole bunch of other things.
Oh, you want to hear violence? Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Shigeru Miyamoto, for this game, actually visited the Rare staff, as he was wont to do during the N64 development, and he suggested that Bond shouldn't kill anyone. And then at the very end of the game, and I swear to God, I'm not making this up, because I read this in more than a few places, he suggested that at the very end of the game, Bond should go to the hospital that all the enemies were in, and shake hands with them.
Well, that beats the ending of the game that I saw, where I keep getting shot off the platform before I can kill Sean Bean, but...
Which is, you know, another horrible entry in Nintendo's aversion to anything creative, but...
Metroid.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Avoid that. I played this right when it came out, because all my friends had it.
Yep.
And it was spreading like wildfire.
Yeah.
Everybody played this stupid game when it came out.
If you had an N64, even if you didn't have an N64, you played this game. You rented it.
Yeah.
You did anything you could.
A little while later, I bought it, and it was the first game I actually bought with my own money. I saved my allowance for this one.
Yeah.
And then I just played it over and over from like, it must have been like 98 to 99, before it got perfect dark. This was my favorite N64 game besides Super Mario 64. I just played the hell out of it. And it still stands because I actually still have my original save file, as you'll see in the video that we'll show you. And some of the things I did as a kid, I'm still wondering how I did today.
It's all about those youthful reflexes, my friend.
Yeah.
You know something else I remember? This is one of the first games I remember, well, I remember playing other multiplayer games in the past, but this is the first one I remember where so many cheats you could use and so many different options. You have big head mode, you have paintball mode, You have Golden Gun mode. You have all these different choices. It's basically, you have these 4 people, or possibly more, sitting around the TV arguing over what they want in their multiplayer match. And they're like, no, I want automatics. No, I want lasers. No, I want slap fights. Nobody pick Odd Job.
That was me, by the way.
Yeah.
Years of playing with my brother, and all he would do was pick Odd Job. It made me permanently hate that character.
You can.
To the point where I would see Goldfinger and just get irrationally angry.
Yeah, no kidding. You can pick multiple Odd Jobs, though, right? Or can only one person be Odd Job per match?
I think it's only one character per match.
Oh.
Yeah. Otherwise, everybody would pick him. There wouldn't be any controversy.
Yeah, no kidding.
But,
a perfect equalizer.
The multiplayer is kind of a microcosm of the greater game at large, because the point you're making is that it's very innovative. And the game's innovation for 1997 could not and cannot still be overstated. It's ridiculous how original this game was compared to its contemporaries.
Yep.
Every level has a set of objectives.
Yes,
it's not
listed out.
Yeah, it's not like, Quake or Doom or Duke Nukem, where the objective is get to the end of the level and get the key cards.
Yes.
So you can get to the end of the level.
Sometimes collect secrets are tallied, but here you've got to disable the bomb. You've got to meet the scientist. You've got to get the secret card from one of the scientists. You've got to meet your agent and place the detonators. Run the hell away. All this stuff. It's so cool.
I don't know if it was strictly the first game to have this type of system, but it's certainly the most popular, and that really influenced the landscape as far as first-person shooters were concerned. The fact that you had to photograph the spy satellites and you had to plant the bombs. You feel like James Bond when you play GoldenEye.
Yeah, you go through your inventory on your little wristwatch. You pick out the little 007 camera, which looks so adorably cute nowadays, with the little O's and the 7 on the side. And then you get your little briefcase decoder.
That typical corny 90s design is very strong with the game. But it even extended into level design, too. Yeah. Because, I could rag on newer first-person shooters all I want, but even at the time, there's plenty of areas in GoldenEye that really have nothing to do with the level.
No.
They're there because it makes a realistic area. It's like in the dam.
I knew you were going to talk about that.
You only need to go down one tower in order to, complete the level where you've destroyed the alarms. But you can go down the other 2 towers, too.
Yep.
You don't have to, but you can.
Yep, mention the island, too.
The famous dummied-out island. That's on the rear side of the dam, which was another area that they cut because they thought the first level was getting a little too complicated for its own good.
It was awfully big.
But, in Surface, all the huts are modeled. There's not a single one closed off. You can go inside the huge radar tower. And
the radar tower even moves. All the huts have different stuff inside them. Yeah. They're all arrayed around the site randomly. There's no real symmetry to it all. Even in the indoor levels, there's no real symmetry.
It really feels like you're in the movie, which is one of the game's great strengths, especially if you're a longtime Bond fan like I am.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, I am James Bond, and I'm not just a video game character. And that goes in hand with the objectives, because as you increase the difficulty, you get more objectives. And I really liked that. It was kind of a motivator to get the later objectives and to get the higher difficulty. Say like Silo, when really, I think an agent, all you have to do is get to the end of the silo.
That's about it. You also have to take a picture of the the Goldeneye
satellite.
Satellite.
But you're on secret agent or double agent, and you see the little key cards and all that stuff. It makes you think, oh wow, what can I be using that for? And that's kind of your incentive to, maybe I should keep playing the game, hit secret agent for this level, and then go back and try that so I can get that too.
Yeah.
It's a really good incentive on a game that prides itself on being replayable. Because that's where the game's replay value comes from. Beating every difficulty and trying to unlock everything. And there's a lot of stuff to unlock.
Yeah, whereas other games would just up the enemy count, up the enemy health, anything like that. This game actually makes things legitimately difficult in a myriad of different ways. But if we could backtrack for a second, you said this really feels like you're playing the movie. And that is a great strength. It is also a great weakness, because I haven't seen GoldenEye in years. In fact, we're probably going to be watching it tonight after we're done recording this. And the fact that I haven't really internalized the movie as well as other Bond fans is kind of a problem when, say, you're in the runway level and you're trying to take out all those point defense turrets with the remote mines, but you've got one that you can easily reach without getting shot at, even while the enemies are streaming at you from behind. But when you try and get at the other one, you were gunned down immediately. It was only on my, I want to say, 5th death that I decided to do a little exploring and realized that tank I saw earlier was not merely decoration. I completely forgot about the whole tank thing.
Yeah. You get a tank.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great vehicle sections of N64 history is are the GoldenEye tank scenes.
Yes, there's 2. I wish there was a 3rd one, but there's only really 2 in the movie, or is there just 1 in the movie where he's going through Moscow?
Well, there's just 1 in the movie. The runway was supposed to have a motorcycle, but they cut it for the tank because they already modeled the tank.
Yeah, that makes sense. So always go with tank.
But well, like what you're arguing is a narrativist issue. It's not a gameplay thing.
Well, it is, because it's almost required to get the tank in order to win, because I couldn't find a way to get past those gun turrets without the tank.
Well, yeah, but, like, we said before that the exploration is a big thing in the game. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, cool, a tank, can I drive it? Yes.
I didn't realize I was supposed to jump up it. I mean, you see helicopters in the game, you see cars in the game, you can't drive those. I didn't realize a tank would be playable.
Well, fair enough, but the thing you have to consider is that you can go on the top of the tank, and that was my big clue as a kid. Oh, this is probably a vehicle and not just a static object.
Well, I didn't get that far. That's my problem. I just walked up to it. I probably got shot in the back. That probably stopped me. I'm like, oh god, this is... All right, fine. I'll stop looking at the set dress and just continue that way and die 4 more times.
What did you think of the levels themselves?
The levels themselves.
What I've noticed in the game is that the first half is pretty consistent with difficulty, and then the second half, as soon as you get to like the second surface level, it just starts jumping.
I didn't have too much trouble with the surface level, apart from the very bizarre red sky that's going on there.
Well,
red sky, take warning.
The nice little eerie early 3D sky effect.
Hell froze over, literally.
Well, it's like in Depot where the sky's like cyan, blue, and black. You're just like, what the hell weather patterns is this?
Nope. And more importantly, the final level with the radio control tower, where it's blue sky above, blue sky below. Where's the ground? Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm in Bespin.
We're somehow, the antenna cradles in the clouds.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But, what kind of operating budget did they have?
But... I mean,
I didn't have too much trouble with it. There were some levels, like, I want to say, the archive, where a lot of the hallways are very similar, because all the hallways have the green paint, and all the doors look pretty much exactly the same. I found myself getting more than a little turned around and stuff like that. It took me a while to find Natalia there.
Archives was a bit of a low point for me, too.
Yeah.
My problem was, at the very beginning, you've got 2 guards in front of you with guns.
Yep.
And your PP7 is on the table.
With a little ammo clip on the side, nice little detail.
And you're already at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So, you grab the PP7, or you karate chop the guards.
Yeah.
The other one's going to shoot you in the meantime, so that's health lost. I don't want to say mandatory health loss, because it is possible to get past that without getting hit, but it's very difficult.
And then the guards start coming into the room, too.
And that's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Because there's a feature, I don't know if it's a bug, because you see it so many friggin' times in the game, it almost makes you think it was intentional. A dead body, or a enemy guard in the process of dying, with your gun, the bullets will not go through him. But if there's an enemy behind him, the body does not have collision, so the enemy's weapon is still firing through. And you'll see, I'm sure in the footage that we recorded,
many times,
there's scenes of me shooting the guards who are piling into the room. The ones in front are just dying, but I can't shoot past them, while there's 3 guards behind just riddling me with bullets.
Yeah, that's especially a problem in the train level as well.
The other, only the low point of the game, as far as level design was concerned, in terms of difficulty, I mean, people bitch about Jungle, but Jungle I thought was okay.
Jungle's alright.
You see the drum guns coming a mile away, because the AR-33 has the zoom on it. So it's just like, come on, just take it slow. Control. That was the level that, even as a kid, made me pull my hair out.
Which one was Control again?
The one with the stupid drum guns and stupid Natalia hacking the stupid computer.
Oh,
while the guards come through every possible direction.
I was never able to beat that. Can we segue into Natalia very briefly? Because she has some very strange, destructive, indestructive qualities. she will frequently run into the line of fire and get killed. But not only that, many times after I planted a proximity, or was it a remote detonator mine to the turret, she will walk right up to it. And one time I didn't notice, and she was fine. She didn't blow up.
Really?
And after that, I noticed it happened multiple times over. Guns!
So stop planting them.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Shoot them? That's a waste of ammo. I need to save it for the crazy Russian dominatrix at the end of the level.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I found the easy way to beat her on Agent. Just stand on the bridge and strafe. She never uses her grenade launcher.
Oh, wait, you didn't just plant the remote mines, wait for her to walk over and detonate them?
Nah, I guess not.
That's what I did as a kid.
I was saving them for the turrets because I knew there'd be more.
Oh, yeah.
I figured I should just gun her down.
You don't need the gun.
That depends on your definition of safe sex.
Escort missions are so friggin' hated. As much as I love Goldeneye, I will easily admit that is a really crappy level on anything higher than Agent.
Yeah.
Secret Agent took me about an hour to beat. And I have no shame in saying that because there are just so many cheap things in that game. Oh, I'm gonna walk right out of the elevator. Drum gun.
Yeah.
Oh, respawning guards. Just like, thanks, Rare.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I get that.
I'm gonna kill that. I'm gonna kill that asshole Boris. Oh, what? Natalia has a problem with that? He was a total asshole to her in the movie. Why does she have a problem with it now? I thought I was supposed to be living the movie. Damn it.
Well.
Oh, one more.
Slight inconsistency.
Yeah.
The developers actually liked Boris.
One more point I wanted to make. Yeah, because he's a developer or a programmer or whatever. The archive level. This goes to my whole. It helps to watch the movie first because Bond in the movie jumps out of that building through a window in order to escape. And that's not really all that clear because some windows are like head height and have sunlight streaming through them, but the ones you're supposed to jump through can almost double for like decoration in the back. You're not immediately sure you can shoot those or not unless you've accidentally grazed one with one too many bullets.
Yeah, the fact that there's bookcases in the way actually keeps them out of sight.
Yes, exactly.
And the fact that the objective is just escape with Natalia.
Yeah, so where?
It's like the beginning briefings. It's like the beginning briefings even mentioned. Well, the front door's locked, James. You might just have to shoot a window to escape. It's just no, you have to get out of there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
Okay, how?
Yeah, I don't mind that you have to intuit some things in the game. One high point for me was when you're stuck in a jail cell and you first meet Natalia, and you have that lovely little text box exchange, and
no voices, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. They get him later in Perfect Dark. But the point is, you first talk to the guard and try and convince him that you're sick, which kind of reminded me of Metal Gear Solid, where Snake's trapped and tries to fake his injury by ketchup.
Yeah.
But the guard's not buying it, and I'm just, oh god, what do I do? Browse the inventory. Oh right, I have nothing except this magnetic watch. Oh, what's that on the other side of the jail cell?
And there's a key right there.
Yeah, but if the watch was that strong to get the key from the other side, wouldn't it, like, tear your wrist off and strap it to the iron bars?
No, well, it probably would shoot your arm into the bars.
Yeah, exactly.
Suspicious, but it's a video game. You don't really have to worry about this.
Video game, it's a movie. And you know it's a video game movie because...
It's a movie video game. I mean, there's like an extra layer of suspension of disbelief being added to here.
Also, everything explodes.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I mean, talking about suspension of disbelief, everything has a fiery explosion, even wooden chairs. The explosion effects and the environmental destruction and the physics engine are super primitive, but the fact that they're there and it's kind of a fun thing to interact with, like shooting the glass and destroying the computers and stuff, that's what makes the game fun, because...
It's fun to see how many things you can destroy.
Yeah.
What the game will let you. Like that one helicopter model. Tell them about that.
Oh, the helicopter model, that was actually one of the helicopters, but they shrunk it down, but forgot to reduce the explosion size.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, is this the helicopter I'm supposed to destroy as part of the mission? Boo! Oh, wow, it went up in the... Oh, God!
Yeah. It's just this mass explosion coming out of a toy that's the size of a football.
Everything exploded in the room after that. It was the best thing I'd ever seen. I'm glad I...
It's a video game. Oh, wait, you want to be talking about the music?
What? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the sound effects too. Oh, and the enemy animation. That was the other thing.
Yes.
Let's talk about that first, because that's probably my favorite thing and possibly the most innovative part of the whole thing.
This is really amateur hour when we record.
Shh. We're 5 videos in. We are professionals. Shut up. So, anyway, the enemies in this game, they can be a little dumb, as we previously mentioned, but the actual coding that went into them is very impressive and still a lot of fun nowadays, because whereas old games, you just one hit or a certain amount of hits and they're dead.
Yeah.
This game rewards you with precision hits.
Yes.
Headshots, arm shots, torso shots, and the enemies react accordingly.
Yeah.
To each one.
Even better, if you're aiming at them, they can, like, you know, shimmy to the side. They can roll on the ground, crouch, and then shoot you.
Yeah.
It's not like any other first-person shooter where enemies have a couple candy animations, and they just charge at you, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't. I'm not going to say that they feel like real people, but it really did kind of elevate the game above other first-person shooters at the time. It's like, wow, the enemies. I'm trying to snipe this guy and he's just dodging my attacks. Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no one would recuse them for real, especially when you get up close and you discover that you've got rather realistic faces of the developers plastered on these incredibly blocky, blurry bodies and stuff like that. But when you're a reasonable distance away and you're tackling these guys, trying to shoot them in a row, and they all try and duck and weave and stuff like that, it's very cool. Although it is a little annoying when you see a couple of them like jump and hop to the side, which is a bit of a bummer because you cannot jump in this game.
You're just wasting bolts at that point trying to hit them. You can't hit them.
And taunting you, look at me, Bond! Look what I can do that a 00 agent can't! Jump, jump, jump.
Why can't you just be a good boy and die?
The music's another thing, too, that I want to bring up.
Yes.
It's amazing how many variations of the James Bond theme that they managed to do, because, you know, it's the same chord progression. Do, 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 do. But it's worked into the levels so well. And it's redone so many times, it does really make you think that, oh wow, they remixed the James Bond theme again.
Yeah.
They have a lot of musical styles in the game, and it's the same chord progression to like really sink in your head that, oh, it's a James Bond game, but you never approach a new level and think, oh, this is lame sounding.
Yeah,
all the music's really good in the game. Some more than others, I will grant, but a lot of it's like just fantastic.
Yeah, one level that, again, stuck out for me is the runway level. That music in that is not really my favorite. Really? It sort of sounds like they've got electric monks in the background chanting, and they're not even the high-grade electric monks. These are not top-shelf electric monks. These are bargain bin electric monks, is what I'm trying to say here. But
the cheap Casio sense.
Yes, Casio monks. Now for sale. Black Friday. Anyway, but yeah, there are a lot of awesome music tracks in this one. I love the one in the facility, and when you're coming into the vents, that's another thing I definitely remember from the movie. Yeah, and the tank scene, and the going through Moscow, and a bunch of stuff. I like the music in Monument Park, kind of.
Yeah.
And that whole level is pretty impressive, too, because
very eerie.
Yeah, it recreates the whole thing where Sean Bean's coming out of the shadows and meeting Bond.
Hello, James.
And you see all this nice little symbolism in the background and stuff like that. It's all very cool.
Fall of the Soviet Union.
Yep.
Trevelyan's Aliens Cossack kind of plays into that whole thing. It's, you know, granted the symbolism was in the movie, but the game did a pretty good job of replicating it. Yeah. So yeah, no, like that's a pretty good level, even if it is mostly a gigantic hallway.
Yeah, exactly.
Very linear, but that doesn't work against it, because it's still fun to play.
It's not overly linear. I had to spend a long time trying to find that former KGB guy in the shipping crate. Because again, I never played that level before in my entire life. I'm thinking, okay, is he behind Lenin statue number 1 or Lenin statue number 7?
That used to throw me for a loop as a kid.
Yeah.
What the hell is he going to?
See you in hell, James.
You first.
I believe that the game has its classic status for a very good reason. And for a long time, I was the biggest hipster about it, because I sunk more time in a Perfect Dark than I did Goldeneye.
Yeah.
And I bring this up for the review only because you're going to hear it so much with people. Goldeneye exists at this point of time where it can't stop being compared to Perfect Dark as a retrospective. Because people are always going to do that. You see it on Reddit, you see it on 4chan, I'm seeing it on other sites too, and that really bothers the hell out of me. Because I believe that Goldeneye is good enough to stand on its own. I believe that its classic status is very well deserved for everything that we kind of went over, for all the memories that you had, you know, playing multiplayer with your friends, with all the time you spent trying to unlock the cheats, with all the great level design and the great missions and everything. I really honestly think that it's one of the best games the N64 has to offer. And I really hate to see anyone else tarnish it in comparison to another game, because I think that's very unfair.
I mean, it's not totally unfair to compare them. Same developer, same kind of style. They're both secret agent based, but they are very much their own separate things for sure.
Exactly. It's like nobody says that Mario 2 sucks because Mario 3 came out. But a lot of people say, well, GoldenEye's archaic because Perfect Dark improved on it. And it doesn't mean GoldenEye's bad. Why can't these things just coexist? Why does everything have to be some stupid comparison? You know?
Are you about to make a look to the cookie reference?
No, just... I just had to get that off my chest because I was reading that online. And it just bugged me. And I'm sure that some people who watch the review might even have the same mindset, even if they haven't played the game. Well, I've heard about GoldenEye, but Perfect Dark's supposed to be better.
Well, I hope we get tons of comments to that effect, and I'm going to email every single one to you.
Oh my god, Julian
Perfect
is so
Dark is
stupid.
clearly the best.
Everyone's opinion is valid, except for yours.
Peter is the handsomest.
Don't suppose you have anything else to go over? I think we've covered all the bases pretty well.
I thought we would briefly talk about the movie itself that it was based off of, and where it stands in the 007, I don't know if I say canon, but sort of the... I don't know, because I was doing a little refamiliarizing myself with the movie without actually watching it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it seems like a lot of the stuff like former friend, now enemy, 007 and the 00 program are obsolete, James Bond must adapt to the new world. It kind of seems like recent Bond movies have basically been reusing those tropes over and over again in a way.
Oh, you don't say.
What I'm asking is, do you think this movie is for 007 kind of like what Wrath of Khan is for Star Trek? Because they keep trying to replicate those kind of emotional beats, and they keep failing over and over again in a way.
In a way, I think you're correct.
Yeah.
GoldenEye came out after a 6-year hiatus on James Bond, so he had to be reintroduced.
Yeah.
They had a new actor. Their goal was to make a more romantic, personable Bond, which is why they had Pierce Brosnan.
Who was going to be in The Living Daylights, but then that whole thing kind of got exploded.
Well, he was way too young at the time.
But
it certainly is, and that's the thing about like the newer James Bond movies, because all they can do is claim to be a deconstruction of Bond while at the same time doing the Bond formula almost perfectly straight. It's like Quantum of Solace, which is almost embarrassing. It almost seems embarrassed to be a James Bond movie because it goes out its way to just avert everything about James Bond, and then it has these long, ridiculous, drawn-out action sequences that are only could exist in a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
And just like
pick one or the other.
Seriously, go all in and actually deconstruct James Bond kind of like Casino Royale did, and do it much better.
Everybody loved Casino Royale.
Don't bother and realize that you're probably a pretentious hack trying to write a script that doesn't fit with Bond, which is why I call it James Bourne.
Yep.
Because it really is.
Well, I think the writer's strike happened at the same time that movie came out. That did not help in any way, shape, or form. But still...
Yeah. Anyway, outside of all the movie rambling, the point we're trying to make is Pierce Brosnan's the best Bond. Anyways.
The writing's on the wall? Grow up, 007.
But I recommend the game for three groups of people. One, people who own N64s and for some reason don't own this game. Two, people who love 007 movies. Three, for people who want to become competitive SP... Man, I am terrible.
FPS.
Yeah.
Damn
you, Bond!
The alcohol's getting to you.
FPS guys. Competitive FPS guys. I'm not drunk yet.
Shaken but not disturbed.
I think that really anybody can pick the game up and have fun with it.
Fair enough.
Bond fans or not, especially if you own an N64. You know, again, I want to say, well, you owe it to yourself. But I really think that, if you do own an N64, it probably would behoove you a little bit, just check it out and see what the hype's all about. And unless you've got, almost no patience at all, I think that anybody can at least play the first part of the game and really enjoy it.
Yeah. So, all right, let me just say strong recommendation then.
Oh, yeah.
Because my reasoning is, if you can get good, as Julian has at this game, beating every single level on 007 agent level, and you can do headshots from a mile away, and you can compensate for the slow frame rate and the slightly clunky controls, no one else is going to stop you. It's like weight training. Walking around with weights all the time, stuff like that. Once you take those weights off, suddenly...
everything else is that easier.
You are the power.
Yeah.
And this will give you that power. This will train you to be the ultimate agent.
Yeah. It was made in an era where games had to have replay value. The best way to have replay value is to make it challenging.
Yep.
So it makes you want to do it again.
Yeah, and it's not frustrating challenging. It's,
Not always.
It's not always. It's
Control.
the kind. It's the kind of challenging that makes you think, all right, this time I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
This time. And
Absolutely.
even now, I find myself wanting to go back and replay some of those levels on 00 Agent. Even so.
They're that memorable, yeah.
Yep. So I think that's it. Double recommendation.
Oh yes.
Enjoy.
Very much.
Hey, Julian.
Yeah.
You like Rareware a lot, right?
Yeah.
You played nearly all the Rareware games back before they got bought out by Microsoft, right? Right.
It still hurts.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay. But the good news is, not nearly all of them. Let's play one you haven't played, right?
Which one's that?
Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong? Oh.
Yes, Donkey Kong.